Hey guys, Papa Pete back again with part 2 of my top 10 favorite NES games from the NES Omnibus Volume 2 M through Z by Mr. Brett Weiss. Fantastic book. Love this series, Volume 1. Last year I did a review and unboxing. Just recently did a review and unboxing of this book as well. Check that out. And I followed up the unboxing with my list of top 10 favorite NES games from the book. So I thought I'd do the exact same thing this year for the new Volume 2. Finish up the library, and I said back at that time, there's a lot of games starting with M through Z, which are absolutely fantastic, this library, and some of my all-time favorites. So I did numbers 10 through 6 just recently. Check that video out if you haven't checked it out yet. But anyway, here comes numbers 5 through 1. Yes, my favorite game from the NES Omnibus Volume 2 M through Z by Brett Weiss. Stick around.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Be sure to check out IntellivisionCollector.com for all your Intellivision collecting needs, whether it be ROMs for LTO Flash or Ultimate Flashback, the latest homebrew games available on the scene, or even games for the original 125. That's IntellivisionCollector.com.
Number 5.
Well, we had a cat swap during the theme song, for Pete's sakes. Charcoal jumped up and out, and Coco was right there whining to get in. Anyway, number 5, my 5th favorite game for the NES from the NES Omnibus Volume 2 is, I love this game, RBI Baseball. I don't know that it is my absolute favorite baseball game on the NES. It's a competition between RBI Baseball and Baseball Stars. I'll tell you what I like most about RBI Baseball is the year that it came out was 1987, and even though the players aren't listed, the numbers of the players are according to the roster. And one of my favorite teams of all time, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but yes, I was a Boston Red Sox fan during the 1986 World Series, and my heart died when that ball went through Bill Buckner's legs. I had to put the champagne back into the refrigerator. It was all my fault. After they got the first 2 outs of that inning and they were about to win the World Series, yes, I got the champagne out of the refrigerator. It's not quite as heartbreaking now as it was then, because of course we've won 4 World Series since. The curse of the Bambino is no more. But that team is replicated in the RBI Baseball. And the gameplay itself is very good as well. I really do enjoy the gameplay in RBI Baseball. Baseball Stars maybe a little bit better, but this one is always going to hold a special place in my heart. So, number 5, my 5th favorite game for the NES from the NES Omnibus Volume 2, RBI Baseball.
Number 4.
Now you can see from my last pick and then this one and maybe some more that I always loved sports games back in those days. And a lot of people say, well, this isn't really a sports game. It kind of is, but it's really more of an arcade hit. And that's number 4. My 4th favorite game from this book right here is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And frankly, I love both copies of the game. What's the difference, right? Mike Tyson, or can't remember what the guy's name is, Mr. Wonderful or whatever his name is. But anyway, excellent arcade type game, repetition type game. Very difficult to play in emulation because of any sort of lag whatsoever. You really can't play it. I have beaten this game in like 1989, no, probably 92, 93. I beat it once. I haven't beaten it since. I've played it many, many times. I really struggle at it nowadays. It's probably, my reflexes are getting slow. Plus the emulation factor. Not very often I actually play it on the original NES. There it is sitting right over there. I could plug it in right now and try it. Probably should do that and have a little bit of fun. But anyway, everybody loves this game. It's one of the most well-known games on the system. It was great that Mike Tyson himself can't even beat Glass Joe. But anyway, if you haven't played this game, what's wrong with you? Why are you watching a favorite video of NES games if you have never played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Go out and do so right now because it's fantastic. And I don't care if it's Mike Tyson or it's the other one. They're fantastic. Number 4.
Number 3.
So let's get away from the sports a little bit. You might be wondering, okay, there's a lot of super games in the M through S field, so where are those ones? Well, my favorite of the bunch, Super Mario Brothers 2. And yes, I know, Doki Doki Panic. But I can remember getting this back in the day, like I'll say probably about 88, 89, I don't know, in that range. No idea, never heard about Doki Doki Panic, just knew that this one, the follow-up to Super Mario Brothers, wow, is that ever different? But we all really, really enjoyed it. One, again, of the first games that I ever finally managed to beat right straight through it. And I still remember the very first time I did it and the cutscene coming up, and I'm not going to worry about spoilers. This is a 40-year-old game almost. But when it becomes that it's all a dream, or you learn that, I just thought that was fantastic. And I love the whole way they ended it. I love the boss battles in this game. One of my absolute favorite platformers. And I enjoy playing it now on my Switch in the NES library there for all the NES games. And I just simply love it. If you haven't played it, pick it up. Play it as soon as you can. But I know we've all played this game, right? Super Mario 2. The real odd one out in the bunch.
Number 2.
And now for my number 2 favorite game from this book here. It is Mega Man 2. I love this game. It is my favorite of all the Mega Mans. I think I have 1 through 4. I haven't got 5 and 6 yet. I've played quite a bit of all 4 of those, but not so much of the other ones, even in emulation. But this is just a special game. And again, it's a game that we had back in the 90s and played it a lot and beat it back in the day. Challenging. And we really didn't know. It's weird because now we know about all the different games and the franchise of Mega Man. It really wasn't a thing back then when we were playing this game. We just knew that this one game was out and we enjoyed playing it. I think my brother also beat it. He had it, I believe, and I borrowed it from him when I played it. But I got my own copy later on, and just so happy to play this game. Such a fluid game. The different characters, the different types of weapons to try to figure out where they work best and when to use certain things. It was just a lot of fun. And he shoots with a gun in the box, and he does it in the game, so that's cool. Always one of the things I ever like to talk about. Anyway, my second favorite game out of this book, out of the M through Z in the NES library, Mega Man 2. I love it.
Number 1.
So now we're down to my absolute favorite game in the NES Omnibus Volume 2, M through Z, and I'm going to say right now, this is my absolute favorite game on the NES library, bar none. Used to play this back in university. I can still remember the day that it came out, and I drove 2.5 hours to the States to pick it up, because like I said, I was away in university. Picked up my copy, got back home, and I think over the next 3 or 4 months, we had tournament after tournament after tournament where we just run through the playoffs. So hey, I got to tell you what I'm playing now. I'm talking Tecmo Super Bowl. We would run through the playoffs. We throw all the teams until the playoffs. Throw all the names of the teams in a hat and pull them out, and then throw like $2 in each. Because remember, this is university back in like 91, 92, and we play off the tournaments to see who would win all the money. And we did that over and over and over again. And to this day, I search for a game that's as much fun as Tecmo Super Bowl. I played Tecmo Super Bowl on the Genesis, on the SNES, in the different versions. The original, then 2, then 3. And they were good. But they didn't really they tried to add things to it that really didn't need to be added. The jump from Tecmo Bowl to Tecmo Super Bowl, with all of the players and all of the teams, as opposed to just it was like a 12 or 14 teams, or maybe 20 in Tecmo Bowl. That was a real necessary improvement. Afterwards, the improvements that were made really were never that good. I can remember getting a Genesis after having loved this so much. Finished university, graduated, off to working life, and I got my Genesis, the next system. And the first thing I searched for was a football game that would match the experience of this on the Genesis. This is before I think Tecmo Super Bowl for the Genesis come out. I mean, I tried Joe Madden Sports Talk 2. No, not Joe Madden. Joe Montana Sports Talk 2, the John Madden games. I tried, oh my God, I can't believe I actually bought John Elway's quarterback. Man, that was a stinker. And never did I find an experience like I did this original game. I'm going to tell you one thing though, and this is not quite the same as this by any stretch because you only play offense, but I really got to give kudos to a new game that's available for the Switch called Retro Bowl. I don't think it's actually that new that now, but I found it about a couple months ago. Jeff from GoGameGo, who I also want to say, Jeff, thank you so much for this shirt. I just recently covered it in one of my pickup videos. Jeff sent me this plus this amazing picture celebrating 1,000 subs. So thanks, Jeff. But anyway, Jeff told me about a game called Retro Bowl on the Switch, and I've been playing that quite a bit lately. It's simplified. It's something you can pick up and play a game in like 2 or 3 minutes, but there's a little bit of management involved. It's just a lot of fun as well. So if you like games like this, check out something like Retro Bowl. I'll be quite honest, it's one of my favorite football games aside from this one that I've ever found. I think they did a really good job creating it. Anyway, my absolute favorite NES game, really of all time, not just in this book, but overall, I'm going to give it to Tecmo Super Bowl. Well, guys, that's it. That's the end of part 2. That's my 10 favorite games from the NES Omnibus Volume 2 M through Z. Coco seems to have really enjoyed herself. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today going over these games. Once again, check out Brett's book, BrettWeissWords.com. Fantastic site, fantastic books, not just this one, but all of them. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time in the next video. Take care.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age.
Hey, Brett Weiss here, host of Tales from a Retro Gamer and the author of the SNES Omnibus and many other books. You have been watching Papa Pete, the Old Guy Gamer.
What the hell?